Good morning. Good morning. Don, you're still muted.
How's that?
There we go.
Right there?
Yeah, you're good.
Good. So, good morning.
Oh, yeah. Morning for you, afternoon for me. How's it going?
Going pretty good. Just been the normal busy lifestyle. Had some changes today that I had planned, so which actually worked out. So now we can do this. So
It's been a minute.
it has. It has. We've had a couple of shows and then had war games and then a couple more shows.
Yeah, we were, let's see.
Jeremy, Jeremy's sharing stuff out right now, so that's why he's clicking stuff around.
Yeah, we're sharing out on the Universal page. Um, yeah, last time we were on was 3 weeks ago, November 17th, right before, a month before Survivor Series. And a few things have happened since then.
Yeah, you were kind of updating me a little bit on some stuff because I have not been able to watch a show since the War Games show, which I've really enjoyed. Uh, One match was kind of to me just blah, but you were second in line, I believe, in that match, in that pay per view.
Yeah.
It was kind of I don't know, kind of drugged down a little bit. It wasn't that great of a match, as far as the crowd and all. Wasn't as exciting, I guess to say. So
Yeah, after last year's Survivor Series, they went all out on everything. So it it can be understandable if this one doesn't quite live up to those standards because it when you keep topping yourself over and over and over, eventually you're going to run into a show where it's not like that anymore. Nigel, we are doing pretty good.
something
Just
I didn't
getting caught up on wrestling today.
doing good. Where are you from, Nigel?
Oh, it's in the comments.
Yeah, I see. I see he's in the comments. I just didn't know where he was from.
Oh,
He's in from.
the UK, I think.
So you're about a 12 hour. No, not that much. Maybe. I don't know.
No, the UK is only 6 hours ahead.
Okay.
Well,
Australia's like 12 hours. Yeah.
yeah, 12. Yeah, I think Nigel is UK. I could be mistaken.
So
So,
you were saying NXT had a pay per view also. I didn't get to watch it.
yeah, they had it last week. Deadline. That's the one where you do the Iron Survivor Challenge. where somebody comes in every 5 minutes. You have the five competitors, and then it whoever gets the most decisions, either most pinfalls or submissions, wins the match. Uh,
It's a 5 minute match.
25 minutes, yeah,
25. Okay.
yeah, because they start out with two, then 5 minutes later a third person comes in, then a fourth, and then a fifth, and then you have 10 minutes with all of them,
I got you.
and it's just a matter of who gets the most falls by the end of that. It's like a regular Iron Man match, but you have your five, and they're all trying to get it. But the kicker is whoever loses has to go into a penalty box for 90 seconds.
Okay, so they're out of the match for 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Sucks if you're stuck in there towards the end. The time keeps running, and you're in,
that actually did happen to one person, uh, Soruka. She got pinned with about a minute left in the match, and she had to go to the penalty box. Um,
now did they let her out? Let her out at the end of the match, or she just have to sit in the cage for another 30 seconds?
yeah, she
He's in UK.
she
5:30 his time.
got 40 seconds before the end of the match, and she was tied. They were all tied. They were all at one fall apiece, and so she had to go into the penalty box, and all she could do was just stand there and watch
And
someone else get a pin and get the win. Pretty good show. You should watch it when you get the chance.
let's put that on my to-do list. So I know we're supposed to be we're going to be talking about
Survivor Series.
we're talking about war games, Survivor Series war games here in just a minute. So what other pay-per-views do we have coming up? Is there anything in December?
Tonight is it.
Okay.
Tonight's the last one. Um, After this, the next one will be in January, and that's going to be another Saturday night's main event. Uh, January 25th. That is, yeah, Saturday. Duh. Um, and that will be held in San Antonio, Texas.
Well, you know Shawn Michaels will be there.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I wonder. Kind of
he's
get off.
have them.
Yeah, with we were talking about before we came on air about the Netflix swap over, having Raw and on. It's just Raw that's going there, right? Or SmackDown.
Think so. It still not very clear to me. The way that I understand it is going to be Raw. Um, I think maybe NXT. I'm not 100% certain on that. The original plan was to get NXT on Netflix. That was the original thought process. And then somewhere during the negotiation, they ended up getting everything. But while Raw is on Netflix,
It
for
would make it
2020,
would make,
huh?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It would make sense what we were talking about earlier before we come on the air about the Netflix people wanting Roman and Cody on Raw. That Netflix or that SmackDown would not be on there, because if that was the case, then you just have another show on there.
Right. Um, the way that I'm understanding it for 2025, outside of the U.S., they will have the pay-per-views. In the U.S., the pay-per-views will still be on Peacock.
Okay.
Um, and then I think in 2026, that's when everything everywhere will be on Netflix.
Well, I've heard speculation about Netflix is going to get, of course, they're going to get Raw and they're going to get certain pay per views, but they're talking about not having the um, all the other extra uh, stuff on there. So I'm hoping that we're not going to lose all this past stuff.
That's what I heard too. I think they'd be stupid to do it that way.
I agree. You got to have some kind of platform to where, and even if they tried to, it's like, all right, so we got Raw and certain pay per views on Netflix, and then we got SmackDown on regular cable. You know, I'm not sure if they would be able to do it, but or if they would want to do it, but have a separate streaming service that's just like the WWE Network that they had before, to where
Mhm.
you have all your old stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of the fans really enjoy watching the old stuff. Uh, well, back back for Halloween, I went back and watched all of the old Halloween Havoc shows.
Yeah,
Um, this is why I have stressed so hard about having the physical media. And now, if well, now WWE is not doing any of that. They're not releasing DVDs like they did.
right.
They stopped that. Well, Survivor Series last year was the last one they put out, and I
Well,
just
you
don't
know,
like having to depend on the internet to be able to watch something I want to watch. I want to be able to have it so I can watch it whenever I want, even if the internet is out.
yeah. You're still. It's kind of like me on a different sense. You like the old school way of doing stuff. It's hard to accept that change. Now is like I can't tell you when the last time I bought a DVD, other than I did buy one for my class. Bought I had to buy another Friday the 13th box set. I
Yeah.
couldn't find my other one. We had a movie night that class for my adult class. Kids all watched Nightmare Before Christmas during there because we had two different movie nights.
Yeah.
So adults didn't want to, what is going on?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Uh,
Was that your camera or was your
yeah, no, it's my camera. What's going on? I can touch it. What are you doing? Stop. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, uh,
it's starting to make me think I was talking to Nick Mulay there for a minute. Because
well,
he's having flashing lights on the ceiling in his basement. I keep telling him, turn those lights off.
Nick has always got decorative stuff there in his podcast, which I love seeing. Uh, Seeing his, when he's on the show, he's always got uh, the decorations and the lights, and usually he's decorated himself most of the time too.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I couldn't do that every month. Change all this stuff out every month. I'll hand it to Nick with that. I
No, I
wouldn't have I wouldn't have the patience to change up, Christmas and Easter and Halloween and Fourth of July and just
no, I don't either.
it'd
Halloween
be a lot of work.
is that's all I do. I did once do a very small decoration for Fourth of July, and that was back when I was living in a trailer court, and I had um, a small deck, and what I did is I ran a blue rope light on the deck and put those like rounded flags where it's straight on the top and rounded on the bottom. I had a couple of those, and I put them on the deck underneath the blue light, and that was the extent of that.
So Nigel just messaged WWE will be on Netflix on July 7th, January 2025. Yeah, we were discussing about that show is going to be a big show. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to happen on that show. Which makes sense. They'll get through the new year. You know, you got a Christmas break, New Year's break, and this is and I'll say that they're not going to be on the air, but I'm sure, you know, as far as production crew and all that's going to be working, you know, right after Christmas and
Yeah.
probably right after New Year's, trying to get everything set up, ready to go for that first show.
Another thing that I read about when they move over to Netflix, they will be going live no matter what time zone they're in. So when they do their European tours, they'll be going live there instead of taping it and airing at our time. They'll be going live. So Monday Night Raw for me will be coming on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon
If it was overseas,
if it's overseas. Yeah.
right? I got you. So it's going to be the same time here, regardless of what it is over there.
No, it's going live.
It's going okay. I got you. It's going live at say 8 o'clock, regardless of where
Yes.
they're at. Okay, I got you.
So when they go live in England at 8 o'clock, I will be able to watch it live here at 3 o'clock.
Well, I mean, it kind of fits with the pay per views that they've had in the past. You know, they're going local time, so if it's 5 in the morning here, it's just the way it is.
Well, they did that with the
Crown
Elimination
Jewel.
Chamber when they went to Australia. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning for that one.
I think I woke up a little early that morning and was catching some of it before I got off work.
Yeah, that was a long day, um, but it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I'm curious to see. The only thing I'm not a fan of is okay when they finally. Cause I'll stay with Peacock until the pay per view switch over to Netflix. Then I'll go. I will switch to Netflix. I'll cancel Peacock because that's the only reason I have that is for WWE.
Now there's a few shows on Peacock that I enjoy watching. So, and I don't watch that much TV. If I ain't got nothing going on, which is very rare, you know, I'll mostly at night. You know,
That's why I have my library. I can watch whatever I want. The only problem is when you got so much, and it's like, holy shit, what do I watch?
well, it's the same thing with any streaming service. Like we got all these different shows on there.
Yeah,
It's like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. Maybe.
I've
You know,
watched two shows on Peacock that I can remember. Halloween Ends when it first came out, and then the Monk movie.
I wasn't a big fan of mine. I've
Oh,
been watching. I try to watch. I watch a movie every once in a while, but I like watching shows, series, and then I've got to get. It's got to be 2 or 3 seasons in before I start watching it because I don't want to watch 4 episodes and then I'm cliffhanger until
then
a year later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, remember back in the day, we were only able to watch one episode a week. You had to wait until next week to find out what happened.
Unless it was
Here we go again.
yeah, what are you doing? I don't know. It's something crazy going
How
on.
old is your camera?
Mm, year. I got it whenever we started doing this.
Oh, oh, it can't be aged then.
Nah, it's some kind of weird connection thing going on. I'm sure. I don't want to mess with anything, but if that's all it's doing, it's working. May not be perfect, but it's working.
I know, especially considering some of the problems that you've had before.
Yes.
Yeah,
But yeah,
too.
you were talking about, wait until next week for shows. That works for some, like stuff like the A Team and Gilligan's Island, and it doesn't matter what show you watch; they all blend in together.
Oh man,
And
Gilligan's
not a
Island.
continuation.
I fan of the show, but I'm a big fan of the movies that they made after that. Rescue from Gilligan's Island, and then they had the one with the Harlem
That
Globetrotters on it.
I guess I remember that one. I do remember the rescue, and they wound up getting shipwrecked back on the same island.
Yes. And then they did another movie after that. I don't remember that one, but then they did a third movie where the island had now been turned into some kind of resort.
Yeah, I think they were running it, wasn't
Yeah, and the Harlem Globetrotters came in.
they? Okay.
Uh, I know I have that on video somewhere. I have Rescue from Gilligan's Island on video. It's right there. I don't know where the Globetrotter is.
Is that you or me breaking up?
Huh?
Is that you or me breaking up?
I'm not hearing anything broken up on my end.
Maybe it was me. Uh, Sorry, but I'm dealing with some sinus stuff too today.
Oh, it's that time of year.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you say we get into this?
How about that? It's only been 20 minutes.
Oh, that's how you usually.
That's
That's
how it rolls.
on the other podcast. They shoot the shit for 20 minutes and then they get into the actual topic at hand.
Well, it's like on a conversation. We're sitting there, we ain't talked to each other in a while, so it's like, hey, let's catch up.
Pretty much. So, Survivor Series 2024 was in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, at the Rogers Arena. Had an attendance of 17,828. I was watching the pre-show, and they actually had a fan who could almost be considered a super fan. Um, for 20 years, he would go to a lot of the Canadian shows and down in Washington, Oregon, Montana, wherever they would be close by. And he would also go to, I think, all of the WrestleManias. And he would have a sign every time, something to the effect of WrestleMania British Columbia or something like that to let them know, hey, we want you guys to come here. Somebody took notice and they finally did. They had an interview with the guy. They actually had the guy there in front of the ring, not not there in the crowd, but actually over the railing and in front of the ring. He could touch it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it really was cool. He was somewhere out there, like the first couple rows of in the crowd, and they were talking to him like about an hour before bell time, and he thought it was really awesome that they got Survivor Series there, but what he really wants is
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. And right next door, they have this. Uh, Let me make sure that I get the name right. Okay, Rogers. Oh no, that's no. Oh, Rogers Arena. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so you got the Rogers Arena, and the next one is BC Place. That's what it's called, I guess. The BP Place, BC Place.
British Columbia place.
Yeah. So BC Place Stadium in Vancouver, Canada, has a retractable roof and has a capacity of 54,500. The record is 65,000, and that was for an Ed Sheeran concert. So for WWE, if they were to have WrestleMania there, they could easily fit 60,000 in there. So I'd say it'd be worth it.
They'll put chairs everywhere they can.
Yeah. Um, but we know that WrestleMania is going to be in Vegas this year, and I don't think they have announced. Yeah, they have not announced one for 26. Although we do know that Indy will have a WrestleMania, we just don't know when.
Thinking about, it's already getting towards the end of the year, and WrestleMania is around the corner.
Well, before they would announce where the following year's WrestleMania is going to be, like right before this year's WrestleMania will be.
Right.
That wasn't the case this year. They waited, I think, about a month after this year's WrestleMania before announcing where next year's is going to be. So I don't think next year will be Indy because we got the Rumble this year, this coming year.
If they're talking about, doing something in British Columbia, it's very possible that they'll have the 2025 there. I can't see them announcing something like that and then putting it off for 2 or 3 years.
Were you talking about for Indianapolis?
No, you said it's in Vegas coming up, right?
Yeah, it's in Vegas in 2025, but they don't.
2026. I'm sorry, 2026.
Yeah, they don't have any place announced for 26. But we do know that Indiana is going to have a WrestleMania. We just don't know if it's going to be 26 or another year. I don't think it will be 26 because they had the Rumble in 25. I think what they're going to do is move up, do the Rumble first, then have SummerSlam, and then have WrestleMania as the last one. That's what I'm thinking.
You talking about putting WrestleMania back towards the end of the year or mid summer?
I'm talking about the order of events for Indiana having these events
Okay.
because the WWE came up with an agreement for this with the city of Indianapolis that they will have the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania at some point.
Gotcha.
And I think that they will have SummerSlam there before they do WrestleMania.
I can see that. I can see having WrestleMania at British Columbia in 2026. And they might have, SummerSlam in Indiana this year.
Not if they've already got the Rumble. Let's see what we got for 25 SummerSlam is in New Jersey and 26 SummerSlam is in Minnesota.
Okay.
So
this is a long-term deal then.
yeah. So at the very earliest for SummerSlam, it'll be in Indianapolis in 2027. That'd be the earliest. So for Mania, I would almost say wait and do it in 2032. Let it be the 40th anniversary of the original WrestleMania that was in Indy. 40 years after WrestleMania 8, we have
Yeah, right
WrestleMania
back.
48. Yeah,
That'd
but
be fitting.
yeah, but I don't know if some fans would want to wait another 7 years. No, shit. Yeah, 7 years. But there's plenty of places where they could do that if they wanted to. Um. So anyway, going into going into Survivor Series, they had already announced that the women's War Games will open the match, men's War Games will close the match, which most people already figured that out. It's just a matter of what order they will do the other three matches. Um, the women's War Games match, interesting, is Jade Cargill was supposed to be in this match, and then she gets hurt, and now we have Bailey added into the match. And now we got this whole thing of, well, who hurt Jade? Was it Bailey so that she could get herself into it? Was it Bianca because she's turning on her tag team partner? Maybe it could have been Liv and Raquel. Some people threw out the idea that it could have been Charlotte.
I'm wondering if it's not Naomi.
That has been that has been thrown out there, especially now. Last night on SmackDown, Naomi stepped up to help Bianca with the tag title because Nick Aldis was going to vacate the titles. And Naomi said, no, she shouldn't have to vacate. I'll come in and help her out, defend the titles if it's okay. Nick said that he'll run it up the ladder, uh, and said that if it's approved, be prepared to defend as early as next week.
Okay. I see possibility being Naomi, just kind of a interaction with her and Bianca backstage, um, and it could be Bianca. And maybe there's the Naomi thing, and doing it is going to cause a rift between her and Jade, to where they're just going to wind up splitting them up, and they're going to fight at WrestleMania.
That's what a lot of people want. Someone else threw out an idea of what if Jade did this herself.
I thought about that too.
Yeah, real interesting.
I thought about that too, staging a whole thing to where whole uh, throwing out that she's riding Bianca's riding her coattails and stuff like that, which she's not. But you can throw anything in there in storyline. Um, so or maybe her looking at Jade thinking that telling her that she's holding her back from being a singles champion and all that. She's tired of being a tag team with her. It's a bunch of different ways they can take that storyline.
Oh yeah, I'm really curious to see how it's going to turn out. As it stands, I don't see Bianca and Naomi going much further than this one match that sounds like they're going to have next week. They will probably have one successful defense, to keep luring people in, and then boom, they lose the titles the next time they defend it.
Uh, I don't know, I'm kind of mixed on that. I'm kind of thinking, that they wind up losing it, and Jade shows up towards the end of the match, or has some kind of rift going on. She basically costs them the title inadvertently. Uh, but then if you do it now, then you got this break until a couple weeks until the storyline continues, or you wait until Raw, that first Raw on Netflix to do it. So I could see that probably happening that way. But I'm with you. They're not gonna have too many defenses
No,
together before it comes to a head.
I think one at the most. Um, but we'll see. This is not the first time that somebody has replaced an injured champion to keep from vacating the titles. Because when Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville won the tag titles, Sonya got injured, and then Piper Niven came in, and they held on to the titles for a good while.
I could see them defending this one successfully. Then in January, them losing it and Jade blaming Naomi and Bianca for losing the titles in her absence, and then that causes a rift.
I could see that. And ultimately, we get that WrestleMania match.
Correct.
But if that's the direction that they do go in, then that means they have to be feeling better about Jade as a singles, because she really hasn't showed much.
That's probably the big holdup with all of it. Maybe she's taking this time, the injury to go back and stop. Taking that time to, go back to the performance center secretly and, work out more.
Could be. Uh,
Now the match itself, I thought was pretty good. I know you had mentioned, it wasn't the caliber of last year's. Last year's was.
it was nowhere near last year's was, in my opinion, and apparently in a lot of other people's opinion, last year's was the greatest women's War Games match.
So it's kind of hard, like you said, it's going to kind of hard to top every year. Yeah.
It is. So many bad things happened in this match.
Oh goodness. You had a couple of miscues here and there where people weren't where they're supposed to be, or maybe coming in a little too quick. I saw where was Zane was coming in with a chair, and she backed out. She was in between the rings, and she was coming in, but then she backed out. And of course, Michael Cole said something about it, and then, which that wasn't that big a deal to me. But the chair shots that Nia was given was garbage,
Yes.
absolute garbage. Uh, and I understand she's not, she's one that's got that mark on her with, she's reckless and hurting people, and maybe that's in the back of her mind when she's doing those chair shots. But man, I mean, if you're going to do them that way, don't even do them, because it was.
But at least you can say, you know, she is visibly making an effort to be safe.
Yeah. Now, I will say she's gotten a lot better over the course of the past year with her in ring stuff and being more cautious and but still looking like professional.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
then when she does that Annihilator, it's like that doesn't look like it being safe there at all.
no. But when she started hitting a couple of the chairs, I was like, "What the hell is she doing?" It's like she's barely touching them.
Here's the thing about the chair shots. They have a rule: no chair shots to the head.
Right.
So when she was coming after, I think it was Naomi.
Naomi, she went this way, and Naomi braced for it in her head, and then she stopped and went, I think, to her side or her back or something
Yeah.
toward that.
So I think Naomi was in a position where, okay, I'm going to go and get her in the back, and then Naomi sort of stands up. She sees it.
Right.
Like, she's bracing herself for that shot, but had she stayed down, then uh, Nia would have been able to get the back.
Right.
And we almost had the same thing with Bailey, but it wasn't quite as noticeable as what happened with Naomi.
Yeah, Bailey sold hers really good. Um, and there was, and I'd have to look back, but I thought there was a couple spots, or at least one spot where the wrong side of the chair was in position to where they usually get hit with the flat side. I thought there was one section where somebody got it one to the face. Maybe it was kicked to them or thrown at them, and it was the wrong side of the chair because you can kind of see when they're doing the matches and all that how they're holding the chair, who's fixing to get hit with it. Because if it's a flat side, facing the one that's holding it, then they're fixing to get hit with a chair. So the other big screw up was trying to think of who was coming off the rope, off the second rope. Maybe they were diving off. Diving off the second rope or diving off the turnbuckle. They did a swanton, and I want to say Bailey was across the chairs. They had the chairs set up, and she was laying across. And did a swanton on top, and they totally missed the whole thing. They missed the chairs and missed the person on the chairs. Did you remember seeing that?
Not right offhand, no.
Yeah, they did some kind of flip off of a rope, and their back was going to land on the person that was laying across. They had two chairs set up, and that person was laying across the chairs, and they come off and was flipping on top of them, which their back would have landed on top of them, but they totally missed the whole move.
It's going to be a swanton. That'd be a Tiffany move.
Wasn't Tiffany? It was who's the one with the purplish hair? Which one was that?
Candice,
Huh?
Candice LeRae.
It was her. She was coming off, and she totally missed whoever she was supposed to be hitting.
There was one spot that I kind of liked. I think it was Tiffany who was getting ready to come out, but Candice jumped the gun on her, and she was being real arrogant, real cocky about it. Like, hey, I'm getting out there, you're not. And I thought, okay, we are definitely going to see something in this match between them, but we never did.
It's probably leading up to later on. Now they had the whole section in there where Liv was down, and so was Nia, and she pulled the briefcase out of the garbage can.
Yep.
I was like, and I just wonder how far that's going to go. How far are you going to keep going with the teasing us, her cashing in?
It leads me to believe that Tiffany is eventually going to turn face. Because I see jealousy with her and Candace because now Candace seems to have kind of wormed her way in um, with Naya, which I think she has ulterior motives. She's got some other mastermind game plan rather than being Nia Jax's lackey.
Right.
Uh,
Tiffany could definitely, with the way her move set and the way she does, it wouldn't be a hard move to go babyface. She'd have to get rid of that Tiffy time stuff. It's just like,
that's what a lot of people are liking the Tiffy time. They keep doing this.
yeah, but it gets annoying every 5 seconds you're doing it. It's like,
It,
oh
it
my God.
does. It does. And when I first saw her and seeing people doing that with her, I didn't get it because I hadn't really seen her wrestle much. And then when I saw her doing it, oh, okay, but no, that's got it is annoying. A lot of people are doing it.
It's her little catchphrase.
Yeah.
I get it. It's like, uh, Stone Cold saying he's big by no means, but
Oh no,
you know, but her moving to babyface wouldn't be that difficult.
I don't think it will be.
She's already got the fan base. I mean, I like her move set. She does pretty good.
Oh yeah, she's very good.
Uh, that whole gymnastics
She
background.
has that gymnastic background too. Hey,
Yeah.
Chris,
Hey, Chris, what's up, man?
it helps that she has that very strong gymnastic background, and it shows.
Yeah. Now, big highlight, of course, was Zane coming off the top with the garbage can again, and then Tiffany on the opposite corner. Yeah, that was wild.
Oh man, that was
As bad as as many as missteps or you know bad chair shots and miscommunications here and there, it was still a decent match.
it
Uh,
was okay. It was just bad. I thought, but and when Io Sky did that whole bit with the trash can, I thought for sure. She takes all these risks. At some point, something is going to go wrong. And I thought to myself, we're going to see somebody die here. My heart dropped when she jumped because somehow I just kind of knew something bad would happen, but she's fine.
and, the garbage cans they use are not standard garbage cans; they're aluminum.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the whole fact that she can't see anything.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. When she's coming off of there and she's landing on somebody or whatever, you know, the thing folds in. It doesn't have a whole lot. I mean, it doesn't have any cushion at all,
Right.
regardless. But you know,
But
because
it's
it collapsed.
flexible.
Yeah, it collapsed. A little bit. She came out of it pretty quick. That I saw.
But what really made that spot really bad was not the fact that she was doing it, but Tiffany was on the other side and she was waiting for her to jump before she did her jump.
Hmm.
Uh,
It looked like they were trying to time it where they're both together, but
yeah, but she
when she
wait on Io because Io can't see anything.
right. So
Uh,
it's a hard move set to get in place when you got that many people involved and trying to get everybody timed correctly and get in the proper position correctly at the same time. It's just hard. So you're going to have that wait time, and it was not just that. There was a few, other instances in the match where you can see, in the background. Because I do that. I watch the match and I'm sitting there watching what other people are doing, towards or in the match. So you do have a lot of people, standing around. It's like a triple threat match when three people are going at it, and then one guy gets hit and he's knocked out towards the side of the ring. He's not really outside the ring, but he's laying in the corner over there while these other two are doing move sets, and he's still laying there. And it's like, you know, do something besides just lay there. Get out of the ring and
Mhm.
do something besides just lay there.
It, let's see. Rhea Ripley pinned Liv Morgan. Um, she gave her the riptide off the top rope onto a table.
That was wild.
Yeah. Uh, that was rough. Um, and then in the post conference, people were asking Rhea, okay, you pinned the champion, that puts you in the front of the line. And she was quick to say, no, I'm not in the front of the line. Io is, because she earned her spot previously. And Rhea said, I'm not going to get in the way of that. Io gets her shot first. So, and that's happening tonight, Io and Liv Morgan. Uh,
Yeah, I see Liv, keeping that. Io's not going to get it. And there was a point in the match too where in the women's match where Io and God, I'm bad with names today. Uh, Jeez, damage control. Help me out.
I haven't seen the match since it happened.
Bailey. Io and Bailey were, still they were kind of working together, but you could still see that tension during the match.
Oh, and on top of that, to me, this was the most randomly thrown together War Games match. Because now all of a sudden Io is a face. When
Well,
damage control is supposed to be heel. Where did Io come from?
yeah. There again, it's kind of like the Tiffany thing. She's very popular, even though she's a heel. Fans like her. They
Yeah.
like Io, even though she's a heel, just because she does the crazy shit to garbage cans. Yeah, and not just saying that, she does a lot of high flying type stuff. So
She does.
exciting stuff. It's like Logan Paul. You know, he's a heel, but he does some crazy shit. People like to watch his matches.
And speaking of Logan Paul, he announced on his podcast a couple of days ago that he's retired from wrestling now.
Really?
Yeah, because his wife had a baby, so now he's spending his time being a dad. When yet just a month before that baby was born, he was saying, "I talked to Triple H. I want to be the workhorse of the company. I want to be on all the shows and everything." You can't have it both ways, unless
Not in that industry. Now let's do like Cody and just bring him along with you.
unless Logan just takes these few months to be a dad and then gets back on the road.
Because he's not getting any younger.
He's not even 30 yet.
Well, I mean, the stuff he does is like Mick Foley. It takes a toll on your body eventually.
That is true. Uh, let's see, how old Logan Paul? Oh, he's
Oh,
only
he's looking at it.
9 years old.
How old?
29.
So going back to Chris' comment, had to have that trash can spot. I was like, you just think about this. What's she going to do to up the ante on that?
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Um, but all in all, the women's War Games match, to me, it was a miss. Uh, it's
I
just,
I enjoyed it. It just had problems.
it had a lot of problems. Um, Storyline wise, everything thrown together the way that it was just did not make any sense. Um, Naya and Liv had just had a match together 2 weeks before, or 3 weeks, whenever it was. Um, it made no sense. The whole match altogether just made no sense. It just seemed like they literally just threw it in all together and made it happen very, very fast.
Well, you got key components on both sides. With Naya and Tiffany in the mix. You got Rodriguez and
And Liv,
yeah, you got all that. You got a couple main parts in there, and then you got to bring somebody in to finish up the team. So
yeah,
wild card.
Naya and Tiffany are definitely going to implode. That's for sure. Everybody sees it coming.
Oh yeah, that's happening. Tiffany's going to wind up. I think she's going to wind up beating Naya. She's going to cash in and she's going to beat Naya.
Yeah,
I see it coming.
and it needs to be done on a big level event.
Oh God, what if they did it? What if she cashed in on that first Raw on Netflix? That would that would be awesome.
She's SmackDown though.
Is she? That's right. Oh
Yeah,
crap!
but being that she has the briefcase, she does have that option if she wants to cash in on Raw. So there's plus they've come out with this open door thing now. Um, they just announced it a week ago, where the
Anybody come to any show?
no, where they can allow uh, like Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce can talk together and okay, yeah, let's bring this person in. I'll let you have this person, for a night or two, something like that. I don't know the specifics about it, but they're having some sort of an open door thing between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. I forgot about NXT, so Ava will be a part of that as well. So I not sure where they're going with this, but it just seems like it's going to defeat the purpose of the draft. So I'm just curious on what they're going to do. He hasn't watched him forever.
I haven't watched since War Games. I haven't even tried to YouTube stuff. So I've just been busy. It's been a very busy month for me, both at work and with class. I got a lot of stuff going on, trying to get through December.
So the next match,
That was the dud for me.
LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States title. So This one happened really, really quick as well.
Shinsuke's got this new look, and I like the direction they're going with him. But I think I even commented or said something to you about it. It was like I like his new persona, but it's still there's certain things they need to change. That whole black outfit where it looked like he had this the pants, his outfit wasn't getting it.
I like
Um,
his new music.
I like his new music. I like his new look. As far as him personally, if it were me, if I was doing the whole samurai thing like they were doing it, instead of having his hair all in his face and all that, I'd have it in the whole samurai bun pulled back. Um, I would change his outfit up a little bit. It's just too black. It's all completely black. It's the material looks like he's got some S&M stuff going on. You know, the pants are designed to be samurai-ish, if I can say it that way, because the hakama pants traditionally in the samurai, with my martial arts background come in, the hakama pants were designed with the samurai to hide their footwork and all that. So it's kind of understand the pants being so wide on the bottom like bell bottoms.
Mhm.
Um, it would make sense to wear. Well, your traditional hakama pants did have um, separation in there, so it was or did it?
The way
It
that
wasn't a skirt. It wasn't a skirt because I got a pair. I got a pair down at class. It wasn't a skirt, but it is separated. But they're very big on the bottom.
the way that I'm understanding this is that they are trying to present how he was in Japan. That they're trying to present him as close as the way that he was before he came to WWE.
If I was, and I ain't no designer or nothing like that, but as far as his outfit goes, and I keep talking about his outfit because it was horrendous to me. I like the whole coat thing. Um, I would have put some dragon emblems and some kanji, some red kanjis on his outfit to kind of break up the solid black. Um, that's what I'd have done with it. And I'll get off my soapbox about the outfit. But all in all, I like the new Shinsuke.
I like it too. Also, the video in the background where they have the blood red moon on the dark blue sky. It very much like the Japanese flag,
Mm-hmm.
the rising sun flag. I
Right.
should. Um, because
I want to see a more. I want to see a little bit different set move with him. Something more, or more violent almost. Something that's more devastating than going back to your same old moves. Throw some extra stuff in there. A new finisher, definitely. Something that's off the wall.
oh, I like the finisher that he's always had. That
The
running,
knee, the running knee.
yeah.
No, yeah. If he's going to change his persona, he's got to change some move sets up. He's got to come up with a new finisher.
Well, the reason I like that move is because he's basically smashing your face in with his leg, and he doesn't even have to do it from the front. He can get you from the back with it, and it's going to get you.
Add something to it, then. Do something. Do some kicks, something. Do some martial arts stuff in there. If you're going rogue samurai, do some martial arts stuff.
I'm looking here on Google Earth right now. I don't know if anybody has ever brought up how much the island of Japan looks a lot like the island of New Zealand. You ever notice that? They're very similar in shape.
Have not looked at that.
Yeah, it's. I just wanted to throw that out there. Um, the mind games that Shinsuke's been playing on LA I thought, has been superb. And something that happened right before the match. I don't know if this was just an accident or if this is what they planned on, but LA drops the belt while he's on the apron. It falls to the floor. He gets down, grabs it, and then jumps back in the ring. At
I
first,
think that I think that was an accident, and they just kind of played on it.
yeah,
Michael Cole, threw it out there, and then LA misstepped on jumping up on the top rope again. Uh, and of course, he threw that out there too. As the mind games are playing effect on him. Kind of covering up the little mistakes. But I mean, it's live. Things don't go as planned. It's just the way it is. And
right. But it's perfect for what Shinsuke has been doing. He is in his head. Um,
in storyline, it worked out really well. If it was, I don't think the belt could have been a plan, but that misstep on the
yeah,
jumping the top rope was not. I mean, it's hard to, in my opinion, to fake that type thing.
but it just it worked out great.
Yeah,
It worked out great.
I agree, Chris. It's a darker finish.
I thought for sure the match would go on a little longer. I was surprised. I'm surprised to see here that it almost lasted 10 minutes, but it didn't feel like it was 10 minutes. It felt like it was more 5 minutes.
And it may have been the fact that after halfway in the match, it's like people are just not feeling it, man. Let's just finish this.
Yeah. Um,
It could have been a call from the back, hey, to the ref, hey, get in there and tell them to hurry this up.
I'm not at all surprised that Shinsuke won the title, because it wouldn't be good for him the way that he came back, and for as long as he had been gone, that he would lose in his second match back. It made no sense.
Right.
Uh,
If they're taking the time to really push his character in a new direction, you gotta you gotta give him the title.
mhm.
It wouldn't make no sense to push him and then you know put him back at the bottom of the list again.
Now, Chris here said that he heard that he was mad be- that he was losing the title, which I can absolutely see. But LA has the crowd in his hands. Truthfully, he doesn't need a title. But
And that opens him up to go after something else. Now
yes,
they're going to run the Shinsuke thing for a little while longer, but somebody's going to probably interfere in a match with LA, and he's gonna go in a different direction. But then again, you got to have somebody coming up with Shinsuke. Maybe Gunther's right hand man. Maybe he can come in there and start doing something with Shinsuke.
well, it's making me wonder if what if LA wins the Rumble this year? He's one of the few guys that I can see right now as a winner.
and him and Cody.
No, he'll go after Gunther.
That'd be a good match. That'd be a good match.
Yeah, I don't see him and Cody. No, not with both of them being a face.
I see Rock coming back and going after Cody.
Oh yeah. Um,
And then, and it being 2 nights, him defend against Rock the first night, and then we get Rock and Roman the second night.
wow.
Because Roman somehow or another gets involved in the whole Cody and Rock and makes Rock lose.
Rock and Roman, that is going to be the ultimate headline for the Bloodline storyline. Not Roman and Solo.
No, this match is coming up with Solo. I'm sure that whatever the heck they call it.
Rafala.
Yeah, the it looks like a bunch of jalapenos to me.
I think
The jalapeno necklace.
I think what's going to ultimately happen is something will happen during the match, and they will end up having another match at the Rumble.
So you think Solo will beat Roman this time, and they'll be 1-1, and they'll go for a third?
Maybe not beat him, but well, Roman did say last night just him and Solo. All
And
members
it
of the Bloodline stays away, just those two.
ain't gonna happen.
I see something happening to where they end up to having like a double disqualification or something like that. So now they're going to have a match at the Rumble, the ultimate victor between those two, and this is where The Rock comes in. Um,
Have a Saturday night's main event, have a double disqualification, and then the jalapeno necklace, the Chili's necklace. But during the Rumble, let's have a lumberjack match.
like all of well, see
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about last year.
have them all outside the ring,
Yeah.
and you're talking about having all Samoans.
Yes.
Yeah, have an all Samoan lumberjack match, and you know nobody interferes. Of course, there's going to be times when people are going to be getting at each other, but that would be freaking awesome.
That's why I'm saying Rock and Roman is the match. Not just for the bloodline storyline, but you know, it is going to be one of the matches of all time. And those two can do it.
It'll be bigger than the Rock and Hogan.
Mm,
Do you remember the Rock and Hogan match?
I had to wait and see how they present it going in.
They I don't remember exactly how it all led up to the match, but it was Hogan and Rock, and of course Rock was the fan favorite, and Hogan was supposed to be the heel coming in, and
Was
it shifted mid match.
no, it shifted before the match even started. The bell had rung, but they hadn't even started hitting each other yet.
It's like everybody's pulling for Hogan now. It's like what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
And of course, the Rock as he does, just like he did with this whole Roman Cody and him, this triangle thing before WrestleMania. He was the babyface, coming out and everybody was cheering. Then he just like, all right, we got to change the script here. It's time to be an asshole, and he did it.
but even right now, with The Rock being an asshole, everybody loves him
Oh
because
yeah,
he's at that level. Yes, he's going to get the boos, but the fans appreciate him.
they appreciate the final boss as he calls himself. And just the verbal stuff that comes out of his mouth is like it's spot on. It's that whole heel persona,
Yeah.
and it's like
Thing is, he's telling the truth. He is not saying one thing that is not true. When he was saying what was it? Phoenix is the number one city in America with meth problems or something like that.
oh
Remember,
yeah, yeah.
he
I
is
mean
right.
that's true old rock heel stuff coming out.
Yeah, and I lived in Phoenix at one time. I lived in Phoenix at one time, and the stories that I heard from Dad, Phoenix has an extremely bad drug problem. But anyway, we're kind of getting off topic here. Um, no, I think LA Knight will probably end up being one of the top names as possible winner for the Rumble. I see it. He's got the fans solid behind him. All he has to do is this, and he's got them.
Yep.
Um, and when his name is announced, the whole crowd screams, "Yeah!"
Hmm.
If that's not over, I don't know what is. He is one of the most over people right now in all of wrestling.
I agree.
Uh, but as far as Shinsuke, I'm curious to see where they're going to go with this. Uh, Last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, um, Shinsuke was in the ring with somebody. I think it was LA. I think it was LA. And the Bloodline came in and attacked LA. And then they turned their focus to Shinsuke. And he was all crouched down there like, I dare you to. And then he released that blood capsule, let it drain out of his mouth. Nobody went near him. Uh, it was almost like the bloodline was afraid to even touch him, which, I would be. That guy can kick some serious ass.
Now, I wish they would bring in some great Muta stuff. I want to see some mist coming out of his mouth too.
The Mist,
Yeah.
he was using
Remember?
it on LA before they had their match at SummerSlam. Survivor
Yeah.
Series.
Well, see there again. I didn't get to see that. I'm about to pull that up and pull that back out.
Oh, yeah. He used it on him twice, I think, back to back weeks before they had their match.
I'm about to go back and look at that. I was never a big Shinsuke fan. It's like you know until watching his new persona. I like the I guess I like the darker side on wrestling personas.
Mhm.
You know, the not normal stuff.
Those are always fun, especially not necessarily just the darker side, but when they start tapping into the supernatural.
If
Uh,
I was, yeah, and I guess it's part of what has us in the paranormal too.
mhm.
It's just that's something we're very interested in, and seeing that on you know mixing that in with the wrestling stuff. It's like I was always a big Taker fan.
Judgment Day when they first started, because that was really cool what they were doing when Edge was there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, I like Judgment Day when he was in charge of that more or less, so they kicked him out. But even going back to like the Brood, my God, the Brood. man, I was like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Yeah. And Chris brings up a good point here. Shinsuke versus Jacob Fatu. What a match that would be.
Yes, it would be. Had to think for a minute which one's Jacob, which one's Jacob. Oh yeah, Jacob.
Yeah. That would be a hell of a match.
What did they do? And I know this is getting ahead of us, but I'm trying to think of what happened to Jacob in the match. Something happened to him where he hurt that ankle again or something in his match where he was taken out of the match towards the end.
For Jacob?
Yeah,
No,
in the males match.
it was
He was flipping around during the match.
it was his knee. Bronson's the one who shattered his ankle.
Okay, maybe it was his knee during the thing,
Yeah.
but
But
I
it's
was never.
that Jacob is always doing something with his knee when he does this stuff. He is very intense.
I'm with you, Chris. Back in Shinsuke, I was never. He wasn't one of my guys. Like if he comes on there, I don't really care about seeing his matches. But now it's like I want to see. I'm becoming a Shinsuke fan. They just need to do some tweaking on him.
I've always been a fan of him since he came out. Um, I think Sami Zayn was his first opponent, and they just had a hell of a match. It was on one of the NXT takeovers. It was a very, very good match.
It's got to be something with my computer. Every time I move my headset, it's some kind of static or something's going on with it.
How would your headset affect the camera?
Well, they're both plugged into the computer.
Your headset's not wireless?
No, I stopped buying wireless stuff. My Xbox controller's wired. My headset's wired. It was every 6 months I was having to buy a new headset and new controller. And this headset has lasted me probably 2 years. Same thing on my controller. I'm
Yeah.
like, and they're cheaper.
Well, my keyboard is wireless and it bugs the shit out of me, especially when I'm writing. I'll write a complete full sentence
And it
you know,
won't be there.
on the screen and nothing has shown up, and then all of a sudden I will get like four letters.
Yeah, I've got a tablet, a wireless keyboard that I can hook up to my phone if I'm typing, if I'm writing on one on a, which I ain't done in a long time. I need to get back on my
Yeah.
southern book that I was thinking about putting together, but I ain't done that in quite a while. But and it was like I can be at work or whatever. I'm sit there and type, get in the mode to write something.
Okay, next match. Triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig the Kaiser. We knew going into this match that it was going to be hard hitting.
Yeah, and you kind of knew the outcome too. I mean, um,
I was
and
actually thinking that Ludwig would win the title.
I don't think they're going to pull it from Braun right now. Now, I like the way they finished it.
Just to Jey Uso.
Do what?
Remember that?
Do what now?
When Jey Uso beat Braun for the Intercontinental title and then he lost it back to him like 2 weeks later, 2 or 3 weeks later. You didn't see that?
I remember it vaguely.
Yeah, so it seemed like it was premature that
They would give it to him and then take it back away from him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Jey Uso 28 days actually. So he had it for about a full month.
So he's one of those guys that don't need a title. But he deserves one.
He deserves one, absolutely. Uh, and maybe that's why he got the Intercontinental title. He got it for a month. Now he can say that he's won a singles championship. And now it's Jimmy's turn.
I don't know.
But at the same time, I was also thinking maybe Sheamus would win it because that is the last title that he has yet to win. He's won everything else.
I could see them. They made a comment during the match. It's like that would be a good fitting for him um, to go ahead and get that title, even if he doesn't keep it very long.
Right. But even if he had it just a week, that's enough. He has won everything else. WWE Championship, the World Title, United States Raw Tag Titles, SmackDown Tag Titles. He's won the King of the Ring, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble. He has won everything. So all he needs now is the Intercontinental title, and that's it. He does. That's all he needs. And he's 46 years old and still going strong.
And maybe that's something he'll get before he retires. Maybe they'll over the next few months, maybe they'll give him a shot, and for whatever reason, he'll wind up winning it. And
Yeah.
probably be some outside interference involved, and then that'll take the heat off between him and Breaker and somebody else. So go at it like they usually do, and you know,
But yeah, I was shocked that Braun won the title. Now it's a feather in his cap that he got the pin over Sheamus. Because that's Sheamus ain't going to make it easy on you.
no,
He did that. He did that thing on both of them. Uh, oh, and Ludwig took that cane, or I think
Shillelagh.
it was Shillelagh, yeah, and he just whacked him across the back. He had.
Oh, he had welts all over him.
Did you see the bruises on his back?
I saw the red marks after the match.
Whew. You tell me wrestling is fake.
It's not fake. It's not fake. It's predetermined.
Uh,
It's scripted and predetermined, but it's still very much, with the exception of Nia hitting people with chairs, it's real shots.
so, yeah, I was kind of disappointed that Braun won the match. I was really hoping for either Sheamus to complete the Beyond Grand Slam champion. And I was also thinking, okay, this would be a good chance for Ludwig to really stand out on his own, um, and be Gunther's the world champion. Now Ludwig is the Intercontinental champion. So those two can really rule Monday Night Raw.
Oh God, can you imagine? They'd have to do it for a little while, but if he wound up winning the Intercontinental, and then them two having it, and then him going after the world title.
The tag titles?
No, going after Gunther's title.
Oh, Ludwig going after the
Yeah.
while he's the Intercontinental champion?
Wow. Yeah. Of course, they'd have to vacate the Intercontinental,
It'd be interesting.
much like they did with Hogan and Hogan Warrior.
Yeah, but that was a different circumstance, though. This here, this here would have to be more of a betrayal between the two.
Yeah.
Um, But we have seen it before where Gunther has beaten up on Ludwig. So it's not beyond it,
And
it's
him finally having his fill of the abuse and him pushing back at him,
yeah.
and it would immediately turn him heel.
It'd be interesting for
I
sure.
mean, immediately turn him babyface.
But overall, I thought it was a really exciting match. Very, very good match. Um,
You didn't have to do much to beat the Shinsuke match. It was just kind
no,
of blah.
no, I was actually disappointed in that match and figured it would go on longer than what it did. But this one here made up for it. Chris, that is a terrible idea. Did you see that?
I saw where he's talking about the music that it came out to.
Yeah, you using the song "Shameless" by Garth Brooks.
I guess I didn't see that part.
That
Maybe I stepped out when he was coming to the ring or something. I
is
don't
a.
know.
It's funny, but it's a terrible idea. Next match: Gunther
Something.
versus Damian Priest. That one to me was another very exciting match. Um,
How did that match end? I don't remember how that one.
Finn Balor,
Yeah, Finn came out.
yeah, he came out. Nobody saw him coming. Uh, and what's interesting is that Finn Balor interfered, did what he did to Damian, and then Gunther comes out and kicks Finn Balor.
Hmm.
It's so now this leads to Damian and Finn are both saying the same thing. You would not have this championship if it weren't for Finn. And they're both correct on that.
Maybe they'll wind up having a triple threat.
Well, all three of them are going to be in a triple threat match tonight.
Okay. All right.
It was
Is it for the title?
originally, huh?
Is it for the title?
Yes, it was originally only going to be Gunther and Finn, and then last week Damian got thrown into the match. So I'm really curious to how this is going to go.
See, I don't even know what matches are on there tonight. I'm going to have to look it up, or I may just be surprised. I may just not even look at anything. It's like,
I am so looking
and
forward.
just enjoy it.
Yeah,
It's gonna it's the whole nostalgia. Like you said, if they're going old school '80s arena wrestling, it's like, yeah, this is gonna be fun.
yeah, I am so looking forward to. I cannot wait to hear Jesse again. I have been watching a lot of Jesse interviews lately. You can't even, just by listening to him, you can't tell he's 73 years old.
It's gonna suck because we're not gonna get to hear McMahon.
Yeah. Well, he, yeah, him yelling at McMahon or yelling out Gino. He still calls him Gino.
Who's he called, Gino?
Gorilla.
Okay, I was thinking of Chico Santana.
That was going to be my next one. Chico Santana and the Flying Burrito.
Now, is he supposed to be there tonight?
As of last I saw, it was supposed to be him, Coco, uh, the Hammer, Greg Valentine, I think. Let me. They had a list. Uh,
Wouldn't it be a twist if Judgment Day does interfere and they cause Finn the match and Priest winds up winning?
okay, here we go. Tito Santana, Jimmy Hart, Greg Valentine, and Coco Beware. Uh, Ted DiBiase was supposed to be there, but he had to back out for whatever reason.
That'd have been good. That'd have been cool.
So yeah, I would like to hear him call him Chico one more time. That'd be pretty cool.
I wonder if it's going to be, hey, you can't say Chico. It's politically incorrect. But come on. We'll see. Hopefully he'll throw it out there.
No, he's going to say it. I'm looking forward to that. Uh, I,
I wonder if Hogan will show up.
there was talks about him being there, but I haven't seen anything lately about it.
He shows up and I mean, just out of the blue, and you know how they are. They ain't gonna throw out everything. You know, keep stuff under wraps, and him that music hits, real American hits, and man, the crowd is gonna go freaking nuts.
They will. But one thing to also keep in mind, there is a lot of heat between Hulk Hogan and Jesse Ventura. Jesse hates him.
Yeah, but
So
it's like, it's just, you know, even though the back behind the scenes heat between the two, you still do what you got to do to
right.
make
Well,
the show as great as it can be.
it ended up being years that Jesse found out that it was even Hogan. It was '86 when Jesse was trying to unionize the WWF. Hogan ratted him out, and he didn't find this out until 4, 5, 6 years later.
Well, it made sense for Hogan not to do it. You're cutting into my money.
Jesse argues that Hogan would have still made his money, but I don't know.
Well, I know Jesse's big thing back in the day was everybody's independent contractors and all that, and you start throwing
Independent
out stuff.
contractors and having health insurance.
Yeah, but you're not. You're not independent contractors. You
Yeah.
are, but you're not. Yeah,
So, and truthfully, the wrestlers should have some kind of a union, even if they just create one themselves.
yeah.
They should have. WWE makes a lot of money. They can afford supplying health insurance to their work performers.
Now, I've seen where in the past where McMahon has paid for rehab with these guys and help with medical expenses here and there, and just because it's like Stone Cold, you know, like Taylor going under the knife so many dang times. I'm sure there's some financial bills paid off through WWE, WWF, because that's their money guy. You got to take care of your money guy.
And if somebody got hurt in the ring, all of his expenses were paid for then too.
Right.
But if you got hurt outside the ring, at least according to Maven on his channel, then you're on your own. So
Well,
one time he did get hurt, and he waited until he was in the ring, and then made it look like he got hurt in the ring.
that's the whole workers' comp thing.
Huh?
That's the whole workers' comp thing.
There is no workman's comp
Well, I mean,
for them.
in a regular, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I did read something once about that they were either looking to have Hogan there or that he was going to be there, but it was just the one time I saw. Um, Now, according to this, it's going to be Greg Valentine, Coco, Tito, and Jimmy Hart there. DiBiase backed out, and Jesse Ventura's on commentary. Oh man, that is going to be so wonderful to watch.
I'd love to see JR.
He doesn't even look his age. The guy's 80 something.
I'd love to see JR back.
J.
JR and have a segment where Jerry the King and JR commentate a match. That would be freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, that would be good because they were a good team in WCW. Yeah, but he's with AEW,
Right.
so I don't see that happening. Um, but yeah, Gunther and Damien had a hell of a match. Again, the finish was tainted, but he beat him. Um, so I'm curious to see how tonight's going to happen. Like Chris said, triple threat means no DQ, so Judgment Day is almost a guarantee. Um, so that kind of leads me to wonder if the Judgment Day is there. Would Damien and Gunther has Ludwig. Damien's got nobody right now. What if
Rhea?
he brings in Bad Bunny?
Maybe.
Yeah. Because normally we see Bad Bunny once a year, but we haven't seen anything from him at all this year. So I could see him coming in this year. Finish the year out with Damien. Hey, you need some backup. Here I am.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's going on over there?
The whole issue I had with why my afternoon is free now,
Uh huh.
but my shipment didn't come in. It just got delivered,
Hmm.
and it is it's 1 o'clock. So
We only got one more match to talk about.
no, I mean it's not happening. So I mean I done postponed my
Ah,
my event till next week because of the situation.
okay.
Uh, because I couldn't just wait. I couldn't have. So basically, we're trying to. I teach martial arts, in case anybody doesn't know. But we have a rank test scheduled for this week today, and my shipment of supplies didn't come in to have my rank test yesterday, so I had to push it off for another week. So I had to text everybody last night saying, "Hey, well, not everybody, but just the ones that were ranking up. That hey, I got to push this off because the shipment didn't come in." Blah blah blah. So it was supposed to be delivered Monday, which I knew FedEx will deliver on Saturday in this area, but I just couldn't sit there and wish and hope that's going to get here in time. So
Don't they also deliver on Sundays too for Christmas time?
I think so.
That's
I
what I
think
thought.
so. But anyway, it cleared my afternoon up to finally get us back on here.
Yeah. All right. So going into the last match, I should point out here Cody Rhodes is not on this card at all. And this is one of the big four pay per views. and Cody Rhodes is not on this show at all. The WWE Championship not on the line or represented in any way. A lot of people have brought this up.
I'm going to have to. Okay. All right. Continue. I got
Half of that.
about a half hour.
Uh, hopefully, we won't need all that. Survivor Series is one of the big four pay per views for the WWE. No Cody Rhodes, no WWE Championship. The top wrestling championship in all of professional wrestling is not on this show. Really
I kind
needed it.
I kind of see why they didn't, because they wanted to put so much hype into the Bloodline storyline. Um, if they were going to do something, they could have threw out the Shinsuke match. But yeah, I can see why
They
they didn't put him in there.
a match.
Say again.
They could have just added another match. They didn't need to take any. They only had 5 matches, and somebody actually um, timed all of this stuff. There was more than an hour of dead time between matches for all of the ads and all of that shit. They could have easily had 3 more matches if they really wanted to.
Well, you got to have the ads. You got to pay the bills. Yeah, how many times? You got to have the what is it, the WWE shop, wrestling shop, whatever it is. You got to have that advertisement every 5 minutes. Because all the belts go on sale.
Yeah,
All the replica belts and all the T-shirts and all that go on sale today. Today only.
I'm trying. I'm trying to find. Somebody had it posted last week. There was one. I think it was between Gunther and the Bloodline match. That there was 23 minutes in between.
23 minutes in between those two matches.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's intermission. That's bathroom breaks and going to getting some stuff at the concession stand and buy a T-shirt.
You need. Oh man, it's really really bad. Um, I wish they didn't have to do all of these ads the way that they do it. I don't like it. When growing up to wrestling, it was boom, 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 match after match. Watching the old WCW pay per views, they would have 4 matches done inside of an hour. Now we're lucky to have 1 match done.
Yeah, about one. Well, yeah,
So
you could have. Well, the first match, of course, is going to take. You're going to take a whole hour. Even though the match is not an hour, it's going to take an hour at a time.
right.
Next hour, you can throw in 2 more. Third hour, you got your final matches.
So anyway, that's my gripe. They should have had the WWE title in there somewhere, but it is what it is. So so the bloodline comes out. Tama opens the match. I predicted it. Tama and Jay opens the match. There were no other person that could have opened up that match. It had to be Jay and Tama. Um, I was completely wrong on the women's match. I definitely did not expect Nia to be the first one. Really shocked at that.
Yeah.
Um, and again, Roman Reigns is not the last guy to come out for his team. Jey Uso was, and I get it because the way that his intro is, it's just weird seeing somebody come out after Roman.
Yeah, it was definitely weird. I was like, holy shit, Jay's coming out
Yeah,
towards the end, and it makes sense to there. He's going to be the first one in the ring, so
he's
it worked out.
yeah his first one in there. He's coming through the crowd.
And of
So
course, they're doing the typical, just people are going nuts. Yeah,
it. I would love to be out there in one of these shows and he can, so I can be doing this with the rest of the fans. That would be so much fun. Um, a lot of tension in this thing. Tonga's about to come out. Solo holds him back, and then he sends, I think it was Jacob.
mm-hmm.
Then Punk is getting ready to come out. Roman blocks him and sends Sammy, which he did that 2 years before.
Mm-hmm.
He held somebody back and sent Sammy, but he was testing Sammy then. This time he trusts Sammy. Um, Holy cow! I saw the videos of after that. Punk is giving him a like a death scare. It, and I'm thinking, how do these guys keep from laughing? I would not be able to keep a straight face. It's, there's no way I'd be able to keep a straight face. I couldn't.
Just getting the death stare at each other.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
You know, and Roman has this facial expression type stuff where I think he kind of stops it. You know, periodically it's like, kind of like the like Taker would. You know, in the ring, they're always trying to get Taker to break character, and he'd always like,
Right. Yeah. Well, Sam is responsible for that. Also, there was a video. Somebody caught it when Jay was coming out. Jimmy and Sammy were kind of like bouncing back. You could see Roman doing that too, and he
really,
stopped himself. Yeah, he only very slightly, but you could see it, and then he stopped. He stopped himself. Um,
he's got to be the cool, collective, just no emotional type character.
right, and then Roman's getting ready to come out, but Punk pushes himself through.
Yeah,
Roman wasn't real happy about that, but we all knew Roman is going to be the last one to come out anyway.
yeah.
Uh, but I like what they did. He had to climb the cage to get in. I like that.
Now, what I didn't get is the announcers. Oh my God, they locked the cage up. How is he going to get in? It's like there's no top on it.
Right.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why do you keep on pushing? As long as they lock the cage, you can't get in. I'm like, just climb. He's just going to climb.
Hmm. And the original War Games, there was a top on there.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no getting in or out. Um, and and the thing that doesn't make sense is that okay, Solo is trying to keep Roman from getting in the match, but
But
the
you can't win the match until everybody's in.
right,
Unless you're hoping somebody, climbs out. But then the match doesn't even begin. So you can't end it if it doesn't begin.
Right. Right. Exactly. Um, but I thought that was really cool, and that was another way of getting Roman over, because the crowd was just eating that up, and then that's where the bad stuff started happening. Bronson Reed destroys his ankle.
Yeah.
Seeing him just climbing to the top of that cage, a man of his size, holy cow! You knew somebody was going to get hurt.
Now, is he hurt for real?
Yes.
Okay.
Didn't you see the slow mo of him landing?
Uh-uh.
His ankle is busted. He just had surgery a couple days ago.
Okay.
He's going to be out until after WrestleMania.
Well, that sucks.
It does.
But at the same time, he doesn't fit in with the rest of the bloodline.
Oh, he's perfect for the bloodline.
No, he doesn't fit
He's
in.
not bloodline, but
He's like Sammy,
he is Samoan.
but he's still, in my
He's
opinion, he doesn't fit
not
with
family.
everyone else. Huh?
He's not family. But he does fit in because he is a Samoan. He looks Samoan. He's even got the some of that tribal tattoo work on his arm.
I hadn't noticed. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, yeah, it's on one of his forearms. Um, so and the timing of that Punk pulling Roman off the table, like a split second.
When they put Roman on the table, and it's taking him forever to get up there, and seeing he's fixing to jump, I said, somebody's going to pull him off. I said, Punk is going to pull him off. Because there's no way he's going to let him land, that big man land on him on a table.
And Bronson lands on his feet first. And Stevie Richards was actually analyzing this video. Bronson's foot was turned just to the right, and that's what caused his ankle to bust the way that it did. He said that if his foot had been pointed forward, he probably would have destroyed his knee.
Ankle, knee, I would probably go with ankle.
I'm not sure which is worse. The
I've had a broken foot. I've had messed up knees. Yeah, knees stick around. Well, so depending on how severely bad it is, I mean, one's not that much better than the next. So,
right.
but you probably have a longer rehab time on your knee.
All I know is he is going to miss WrestleMania. Which is unfortunate because I like his work. He's doing stuff that a man his size has no business doing.
And that proves what was happening. You don't need to be doing that kind of stuff. Which, he's a big guy that can do those things, and that puts him above and beyond your regular big guys.
Yeah.
Because usually they're the Andre type where you're just beating the shit out of somebody for 30 minutes.
He's working himself to where he can be in the same conversation as Vader, Bam Bam, those guys. Um, hell, Ivar from the Viking
Yeah.
Warriors now, I think they're called. Ivar is easily in that same conversation.
Yep.
um, but yeah, Bronson's ankle is it just destroyed it. Then right after that, Jimmy jumps off the cage. I forget who he was jumping onto, but now he broke his big toe, which is less a lot less serious than the ankle.
Yeah, you can still do what you got to do with broke toe.
Right. He did come out last night. He was on crutches.
For a big toe?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how serious things can be for the big toe.
I've broken my right big toe many times. It's
Yeah.
you can survive. You can still work.
Now I have broken a ring toe, and I had a very hard time walking for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, it's sore. It's sore as hell.
Yeah.
Now, considering my job, back in the day and what they do is totally different thing. So I could see, I guess, wearing a boot and wearing using crutches, you're going to speed up your healing process a lot quicker.
And then Tonga Loa did something to his bicep, and he's going to be out for a while. So 3 of the 10 guys get hurt in this match. Legitimately hurt.
Yeah.
Um,
There's, with what they do, there's always that chance of injuries. It's just part of it. Um, the match itself was really good.
yes, it was.
Um, they destroyed Solo at the end of it. Good God, they destroyed him. They hit him with everything.
Yeah, I like that.
And the spear at the end of it was just icing on the cake.
Uh, let's see. Oh, and then there's the tension that you see between Roman and Punk throughout the match, in the match. And finally,
But still, even though storyline wise, even though they're not on the same page, they are on the same page, more or less.
yeah,
They did what they had to do one time, and I'm wondering what this favor is going to be down the line.
I think it's going to be a while before we find that out. I say it'll be minimum 6 months before we find out.
There's going to be a title shot or something.
It could be. Um,
If Roman winds up getting, say, the Intercontinental, or somehow or another getting the world champion again, and then you got Paul, of course, you got Roman as whatever champion it is, then you got CM Punk cashing in on that favor, and now you got Paul Heyman in the middle of two Heyman guys going after a title together. That'll be an interesting twist.
I can see Punk gets a title shot and he asks, okay, here's my favor. I want you in my corner. And it doesn't have to be against Roman. It could be against anybody. I want you in my corner. But it would make it a lot more interesting if it is against Roman.
Or anybody else in the bond, but being Roman, yeah, That would be epic.
Yeah. So wouldn't that be an interesting twist between the tribal chief and the wise man?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, definitely best match of the night. Um,
I thought something else was going to happen at the very end when they were, all back down. They finished up in the ring and they're all getting out and they're going down by the cages and they're all standing out together again and they're all standing there and they're all doing this and Punk's doing this and like somebody's
oh,
Punk's doing that. Yeah, I was expecting somebody else to show up, pop out.
I thought
But
somebody was going to too, but it didn't happen. Um, but I think they needed a feel good moment for them to close out, and this was pretty much as close as it was going to get. Um,
could you imagine the crowd reaction of them all standing there in the back, doing this, and all of a sudden the Rock's music hits. God. And of course, all they have to do is turn around, and all they have to do is the five staring, and the Rock staring back, and then it goes off.
that would have been something since Rock did that at Bad Blood. It's like I'm still here. That would have been something. Um, it yeah, it'd be Rock doesn't have to do anything. Just show up.
That's it.
I'm still here. You're not going to forget about me. Yeah, do that at Bad Blood. Could have done that at Survivor Series. Definitely do that at the Rumble. I'm sure we're going to see something big from him for the Rumble.
Yeah.
Um, People have said, well, maybe The Rock's going to win the Rumble this year. I don't think he needs to. I don't think he needs to. I don't think Roman needs to. I'd like to see somebody new win this year. Um, it could be Punk. It could be LA. Hell, it could be Jay for all I know. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be freaking awesome. If Gunther and LA, however they mix it up for WrestleMania, and then Jay winning and challenging Cody for the title, that'd be wild.
And considering just a year and a half before they were tag team champions.
Yeah.
Uh,
Everybody fights everybody at some point in time.
yeah.
It's just the way it works.
So tonight, Saturday night's main event.
I want no spoilers. I want no spoilers.
Huh?
I don't want any spoilers.
Oh, you don't want to know the matches?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I can leave and you can continue on.
Oh no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to be. I don't want to be the only one on screen.
All right, go ahead, throw them out.
All I will say is that we have 5 matches. 4 of them are championship matches. So
I'm gonna stay on social media too.
I'm really,
That's a movie for me on this one.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Can't wait for Jesse. I cannot wait for that.
We were discussing earlier, through text and all about another show tomorrow. Uh, it's very doable.
Yeah,
I'll see what's going on in just a minute, and I'll get back with you.
yeah. Just let me know.
As for now, I think we could probably do a show tomorrow and talk about SummerSlam.
Yeah, just let me know and let me know what time's good for you.
Okay. Um, Thinking way when the show was starting out, finishing up the year out. I've got to work Christmas Eve or Christmas. I got to work New Year's Eve. I was thinking about doing a New Year's show, but I've got to work that night. So
New Year's Eve, that's on Tuesday night. Well, you might be able to do something that night.
maybe we can get Chris to come on in my spot, and maybe I can come on audio, not video.
I doubt very seriously that Fear Fans is going to be on New Year's Eve. I doubt that very seriously.
Well, they might do a New Year's Eve show, you know, or maybe here'd be a thing is like get a cross-platform New Year's Eve show. Just get different hosts coming in, everybody collab on a New Year's show.
Oh, I've done that once before. That was a lot of work. Um,
We'll let somebody else do it. Let Fear Fans do it, and hey, we're just talking today. So let some more people.
well, I don't think they're going to want to do anything on that night, especially Don. Anytime the show falls on a date that's like right there on a holiday, he just doesn't do a show. Um,
It may not be a lot of viewing that night because everybody else is doing
right.
everything else. So I can see that.
Yeah. So,
I'm a family guy. It's like if I'm off and I ain't got nothing going on.
yeah, we can figure it out. We still got time.
Yeah, we'll talk about it some more tomorrow. Well,
So,
I got to get.
huh?
I said I got to get.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's the end of the show today. You know, we may be back tomorrow, um, probably at our regularly scheduled time, which is shit. When?
8, 7, 7, 8.
No, our normal
3. We're all over the place.
a 2 p.m. your time is our regular scheduled time that I've got here.
Okay, I'll see what I can work out and
All right.
try to make it happen tomorrow.
Okay. So, for those out in the audience, thank you for playing along. Nigel, Chris, that was it.
Appreciate y'all watching.
Yes.
If you're watching this on a replay, check out our other videos on YouTube.
On YouTube, Facebook, I got it on Spotify. We're also on Twitch, LinkedIn. We're everywhere. Things Network page, Universal Wrestling Network page, and March on Wrestling page. I create too many pages. I need to stop. So
If you want to watch our past shows, you can find it.
yeah. All right. Well, everybody out there, have a good day. Enjoy your Saturday night's main event. I know I will be. I know Don will be. And if we have a show tomorrow, we'll be talking about tonight's event. So, all right. You guys have a good night. Have a good weekend.
See ya.